With all of this casting news we got last week for Scream 6, did we also just find out Ghostface's new motive? Let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie? Amen.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the dancing now.
Oh, Lord on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today, we're talking a little bit about Scream 6, talking about a little theory I have about Ghostface's motive this time around, which is hopefully different from some of the ones we've gotten in the past. But before I get into this, I'm going to need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. So real quickly, before I actually dive into all this, let's discuss some of the past motives so that all of this kind of makes sense as to why I want such a different motive for this next film. In the first three Scream movies, the motives of the Ghostface killer ultimately boil down to some form of revenge against Sidney Prescott for either something she did or something a relative of hers did. That relative is almost always Maureen Prescott. So my thoughts is that, like, after that, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. Like, it's different people coming after Sidney Prescott for something she, like I said, something either she did, like killing Billy Loomis, or something her mom did. It's always those things. It all kind of boils down to that in the first three movies. Pretty repetitive. Then we get to 4, where the motive is a little different. I know some people didn't love it, but honestly, it's probably my favorite Ghostface motive out of all 5 of the movies. We have Jill, who just wants fame. She just wants to be famous. She wants to be famous like Sidney Prescott by ultimately being the only survivor of this new Woodsboro massacre, and she almost gets that. Except she did not quite kill Sidney Prescott. She was almost there. Almost, but not quite. So that happens in 4, and that's interesting. And then we get an even more different motive in Scream 5 with Richie and Amber, who want to start more killings in Woodsboro so that they can give Hollywood better ideas for new movies, because Stab 8 totally sucked butt. But now we've gotten the news that not only are the surviving characters, well, most of them, not Sidney Prescott is not confirmed yet to be returning, but for the majority of the characters who survived the last film will be coming back for this new film, to no one's surprise. Of course, that's going to happen with the exact same filmmakers making this next one. But then we also got the news of Kirby Reed coming back, Hayden Panettiere, who was a survivor from Scream 4. We just learned that recently in Scream 5, that film confirming that Kirby actually did survive the events of Scream 4. So now does that kind of give away Ghostface's motive for Scream 6? And I have a crazy theory about this, which I just want to pitch out there. Hear me out on this, because I think I got something going here. So maybe Ghostface, this time around, doesn't want to just go after past survivors of other Ghostface killings, because to me, it sounds a lot like Scream 2. And no, not the same thing, but similar. If you remember from Scream 2, the Ghostfaces that time around were killing people who had the same name as the Ghostface killings from the first movie. Maureen Evans instead of Maureen Prescott was the first kill, for instance. To me, I feel like it's... If Ghostface's goal was just to wipe out the rest of the survivors, I just feel like that's a little repetitive. We've already kind of seen that in a certain sort of way. It's parallel to the Scream 2 killings, but not quite the same, but similar. And I'm already kind of worried that this movie is going to be really similar to Scream 2, so I'm kind of hoping that's not the case. It's not just face value, I want to wipe out the rest of the killers. But why? Why does Ghostface want to do that? Let's dive a little deeper into this. Let's make it a little more complicated. Maybe Ghostface wants to eliminate the rest of the survivors of every Ghostface killing because this Ghostface has good intentions. For the first time ever in a Scream film, in Scream 6, we could see a Ghostface who is actually working with good intentions, but goes about it in a very chaotic and evil way, by killing people. So what I'm saying by this is maybe this Ghostface wants to be the Ghostface to end all Ghostfaces. He or she wants to go and kill the rest of the people who survived so that no one else wants to go and seek retribution and kill these people for some kind of revenge thing from the past. It could be a commentary on how the first 3 movies all kind of have the same motive when you boil it down, and it could be funny. It could be commentary on not just the franchise itself, but on other horror movies in general. I think that would be really cool. Other murder mysteries it could comment comment on. I think that would be a really cool angle that we've never quite seen before in the Scream franchise, by having a Ghostface killer who has good intentions, but once again, kind of goes about it the wrong way. That moral dilemma, that conversation back and forth between your survivors in the third act and whoever this new Ghostface is could be really, really cool. And something that I feel like the Scream franchise has never really jumped into too much. The motive is never anything like super complicated, and I think if they went this route of doing something that's like really smart and kind of like a back and forth of wits, like two different people just going back and forth from different perspectives, trying to explain to this Ghostface that it's like, yes, you have good intentions. It's cool that you want to stop all the Ghostface killings from ever happening again, but you're going about it the wrong way. Like, you can't just kill people to solve the problem. Although, you could argue that maybe if this Ghostface was successful and killed literally all of our survivors, there wouldn't be any more Ghostface killings, therefore no one else gets dragged into this mess. So it's a really interesting moral dilemma that I would love for Scream 6 to comment on. And if you're wondering, like, Jake, where are you getting this crazy idea from? Well, there's a lot of different like superhero movies that I love that kind of use this element, that make it much more than just a bunch of people dressed up in costumes fighting each other. It's really like, for example, Under the Red Hood is this animated Batman movie where it's about like Robin. Basically, he nearly dies, but then he like comes back to life. It's a whole bunch of bullshit that I won't explain. And then he goes to kill the Joker, and Batman stops him and says, like, Robin, you can't do that. You can't just kill him. But if you were to kill the Joker, all the crimes would stop. But also, you kind of stoop down to his level if you kill him. So does that make you any better than the Joker? It's a really interesting moral question and dilemma that honestly you can go back and forth on all day. I would love something like that in a Scream movie. Is that too much to ask? Is that too complicated for just a general audience? I really don't think so. We've really integrated this into a lot of Marvel movies recently as well, and I don't think it would be anything that would completely go over people's heads. It would be something really cool and something really original, especially for this franchise. That, like I said, the majority of the motives all kind of boil down to just plain old simple revenge, which, yeah, can be done well, but like I said already, this franchise has done it 3 times. Let's not just go the revenge route this time around. Let's do something else. Let's do something different. I had appreciated that in Scream 5, they had a motive that was a little different. Did Richie and Amber really make any sense with their whole situation? No, but they were totally crazy. They were totally crazy and insane. It wasn't supposed to make any sense. It wasn't supposed to, like, pan out. It wasn't supposed to work out for them. I feel like even if Richie and Amber did successfully kill everybody and were the only 2 survivors of that last movie, they wouldn't have, like, sparked Hollywood new ideas and all that. Like, it probably wouldn't have worked out. Yeah, that's true. But you could argue that about a lot of these Ghostface killings in these movies, that, like, yeah, if they did get the revenge they wanted, they'd probably still go to jail. Like, Mrs. Loomis would probably still go to jail if she was a little more successful than what happened to her in Scream 2. It would make for one of the most epic Scream movies ever, and I really think it would just be an awesome trilogy if they ended it with like a 6 and 7 that kind of followed throughout this whole storyline. I really think that would be cool. I think that would be a really interesting aspect for them to go to make the motive a little more complicated, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think the motive should be for Scream 6? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this new Scream 6 theory video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Also, if you want to support this channel further, make sure to hit that join button on my page, and then you've become a channel member. Thank you guys for watching again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.